Hi everybody and welcome to the 27th of August as we whip around Thailand covering some of the main news stories. A few updates today. I think that's taking up most of our news. Starting with this one from nationthailand.com. Trapped workers in tunnel still alive according to rescuers. A Chinese foreman, backhoe operator and a Burmese dump truck driver became trapped inside the tunnel being constructed in the PHANG district of Nakhon Ratchasima in a landslide on Saturday. Rescuers from state and private agencies have been pumping oxygen into the tunnel to keep the workers alive and are clearing the soil that slid down the mountain, trapping the three. The rescue team had inserted a 1 metre and 20 centimetre tube into the area where vital signs were detected before deploying officials to clear the soil inside and rescue the workers. Vital signs being detected. That doesn't sound like they went, "Hey, how are you?" "Oh, we're okay, thanks." It's like they've detected breathing or heartbeats or something. The spokesperson said the detection of vital signs proves they're still alive, and he confirmed a rescue plan has been set up to assist the trapped workers as soon as possible. Well, let's hope there is a positive outcome to that particular story. It sort of doesn't read particularly well. Now to the plane crash from last week. Thai PBS World reporting remains of 9 victims of Chung Sao plane crash recovered. And forensic officers have recovered the remains of all 9 people on board the Cessna Caravan plane, which crashed into a mangrove swamp in Bang Saray district of Chung Sao province on August the 22nd. They include the captain, the co-pilot, 2 Thai employees of a hotel, and 5 Chinese tourists. And the search team has found 80% of the plane's wreckage. It says the investigation's being hampered by flight voice and data recorders not being installed in those planes, but video clips of the accident have been taken by members of the public. Well, it does look like that's going to be a bit of a difficult accident to figure out. Could be several months away before we get some sort of resolution on that. But 9 people died 10 minutes into their flight from Suvarnabhumi Airport. Now to the aftermath of that landslide above the town of Pattaya in Phuket. Happened very early on Friday morning. 13 people have died as a result. Now the investigation starts. A Bangkok poster reporting experts to probe deadly landslides, and the provincial office is looking to consult with experts to survey a mountaintop area where 13 people, mostly foreign nationals, were killed by landslide last week. The survey will be conducted over an area at the top of the Nakhon mountain range in Tambon Karon. Now, that's all code for one of the major tourist attractions on Phuket, Big Buddha, which you usually approach on a windy road up from Chalong. The landslide killed 13 people, including 2 Russians and 9 Myanmar nationals on Friday. And some great background footage there from BM Style from YouTube. The landslide also killed 19 people. Of them, 14 have been discharged from hospital. The government said the topsoil came tumbling down the side of the mountain, sending big boulders rolling down as well. And a local source said a temple had been built on the mountain range's highest peak and a large principal Buddha image had been erected. But the land had subsided near the base of the Buddha image, which some have claimed triggered the slides. Well, again, for whatever reason, they're trying not to mention the tourist attraction Big Buddha. The project also involved clearing away trees, leaving the land denuded with nothing to hold the topsoil. And this official from Tambon Karon said the local residents have feared that a disaster would take place for some time, and it finally happened. He added plans called for a small Buddha image to be built 22 years ago. However, as time passed, the project continued without a completion date and was constantly expanding. Now, I just want you to note that green building behind the head of the Big Buddha. And as it pulls back, we can see Qatar in the background and the Andaman Sea beyond. And as we'll see in another photo, everything from behind that green building basically slipped down the hill and ran into all the houses in Soi Patak 2. And here's a photo from that other side at the top of the landslide area, and you can see you've got the green building, then nothing. So this is obviously going to be the focus of their attention to try and source exactly what happened. And this is from the Facebook page of Phuket Hot News. It's a translation, checking that big temple tomorrow. Again, they don't use the word Big Buddha, saying that the Vice-Chancellor of the Forestry Department and related agencies will go to the area to determine the location of the land use on Nakhon Mountain and check the records of construction on Wat Phra, and reported in other parts of the media that local authorities are already saying there were never any permits issued for the building or the construction of Big Buddha. So it may end up that the officials at the Tambon Karon were, at the end of the day, responsible for not directing the buildings atop this mountain, maybe never authorised them, and certainly didn't check on them. Okay, taking the program now up to the shores of Bang Saray, and looks like there's been a bit of an oil spill. Oil washes ashore at Bang Saray. This is being reported by nationthailand.com. Sand dotted with foul-smelling tar deposits as oil slick from tankers and large vessels washes ashore. It says the visitors to the Bang Saray Beach in Chonburi's Satahip district on Sunday afternoon were horrified to see oil both in the sea and on the sand. Apart from the impacts on the landscape, tourists were afraid of playing in the sea and becoming contaminated. Thick clumps of oil were found scattered on the beach, and the oil slick out to sea was giving off a foul odour. The oil's thought to be washing up ashore from large vessels offshore rather than from any particular incident. And the Bang Saray municipality said it would collaborate with relevant agencies such as Royal Thai Navy, Marine Department and Department of Marine and Coastal Resources to remove the tar and restore the landscape. Now, I confronted something similar to this about 4 years ago on the coastline of Phuket. We were called down to Mai Khao Beach and they had these tar balls, basically sort of gelatinous, oily tar. And the only way you can remove it is like with a spade with a whole lot of sand with it into a bag and dispose of it. You can't pick them up, although people were trying to use gloves, but it just goes everywhere. And if it gets on your shoes, particularly hard to remove. All right, to Pattaya now. An 11-year-old caught vaping on Pattaya Walking Street goes viral. Authorities take action. Not surprisingly, they've blurred out the minor's face. Authorities in Chonburi have transferred an 11-year-old boy to child protection for rehabilitation after a video of him smoking an e-cigarette on Pattaya's Walking Street went viral. And the boy, whose nickname is Pangpon, went viral on Thai social media after he was spotted vaping on Walking Street on August the 25th. Video prompted numerous comments and shares, eventually leading to the boy's identification. And during a subsequent meeting between social workers, police officers, local admin and the boy's guardians, it was agreed the boy would be placed in the Chonburi Children's Shelter for assessment and rehabilitation. Meanwhile, authorities are planning a crackdown, of course. Now, the boy's got some priors. He's previously caused multiple disturbances, including setting fire to items in a restroom in a toilet bus. Pattaya city officials say they would launch a fresh crackdown against vaping and illegal vaping vendors in the Pattaya area. So, surprise, surprise, despite being illegal, vaping implements and e-cigarettes and vaping fluids still widely available. And, of course, at some stage the kids will find it as well. Okay, thanks for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date. Best thing you could do to help me, if you want to help me at all, is to subscribe to the channel. If you've already done so, thank you very much, and we'll see you tomorrow.